Wait, are you just gonna leave this up here like silently?
Oh no, there's music playing over here.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna pee and then start.
Okay. I mean, I'm gonna sit here and keep talking. Fuck, that's what I do. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be live shortly, playing new music for that ass. And that ass better know about that. Y'all better strap on your life jacket, keep you afloat. Man, so cold you might never bloom. And the show this good, there will be no replication. You're in the map. You might need to plug into the Archimedes. Or you can get a bunch of friends together to get this off out of you. You can unite the fuck. And then when you hit it, go crank. And I can't even throw Gürschach in there because I know that's what the building and I can't have any fun with that. So, but I have a lot of fun listening to Gürschach or hanging out with Gürschach. I miss the boys and girls. What's up, Tommy Cruz? Good evening. The actual show will be... I thought you ran off the tape. The actual show will be starting here in about 5. Yo, I feel this is unfair. Because I'm over here in fucking Spanish throughout the year, like on screen. So, I wonder if maybe I should start every week of the podcast or bust out my own Spanish book. Yo, be like Bill Dozier on the hill.
It's a little quiet in here, guys. You know...
Well, you told me to shut up, so they probably figured you want everybody to shut up.
I just meant for the moment. Bask in the glory that is the music.
I mean, I can't hear the music, bitch. Like,
No. Well, whose problem is that? It's not mine. I can't believe you can't hear the music. It's in your soul, man.
well, I mean, you switch songs, so it's not in my head like it used to be. So, I mean, now I got to get used to this one.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready to talk some shop? The boss in the box. Fucking shop with 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 the boss in the box. Hello, my friends! This is episode 144 of Talking Shop with the Boss and the Box. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Brandon, the Boss Blacker. I am a 20-plus year music veteran, and I am here to say that I am more than qualified to rate and review your music, and that's exactly what we're going to do tonight, ladies and gentlemen. And here with me, as always, well, I don't have to introduce him because he introduces himself the best. Ladies and gentlemen, the guy over to my bottom.
Whoa, I don't like that. Could you please put that differently? Ladies and gentlemen, as he done did said, welcome to episode 144 of Talking Shop with the Boss in the Box. I am but one half of your handsome, humble, heavyweight co-host duo, the Lunchbox. That is one word, capital L, capital B. Thank you very much. And tonight, we are playing 8 new tracks for you. We got some new music for dead ass.
That's right. So we got 8, and you know what? I'm really excited. Some of these I've seen before. Some of these I've not seen before. Over the past week, there's a couple albums that we've listened to. There's some brand new music videos. So I'm excited. We haven't had a music episode in a little while. So
yeah, it's been a minute.
You know, when we're doing the just the whole audio version of this podcast, before we came into, you know, this decade of streaming and showing video and doing all that cool stuff that all the smart people do, you know, we were only audio for what, 80 episodes or some shit like that.
76, I think.
76 episodes. And one of the key things that we used to do was feature working bands.
The working band of the week.
Man, it didn't matter what kind of episode we were having. We could have a wrestling episode. We could have a horror movie episode. We could have what the hell is going on in our life, or a listener's questions episode. And then, usually at the end, we feature some bands. And I miss
That's right.
that. And I'm not necessarily sure if we're going to do that every single time, but you know what? It was a cool thing that we used to do. You know, discovering new music. Like, you showed me a lot of music that I never knew.
What's up, Dub?
Gabe?
Bannock? Tommy Cruise? Jordan?
You know, this isn't bad. Like, I'm drinking Jameson, and I didn't have any Sprite or 7-Up or anything cool to go with it, so I put pineapple juice, and it's actually pretty good. But I put way too much Jameson, so, like, my Jameson amount was, like, probably half the glass, as opposed to, like, a splash of pineapple with it. So it's a little...
Those are what we used to call those Marlena drinks in our day. Our friend Marlena used to just put a mixer in for color.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm drinking a Marlena right now.
Dub's got red wine. I have a Tactical Ops Recon Red Rye Ale.
Ooh, red rye?
Yep, just like when we did our Power Hour and had the Little Red Riding Hood.
Yeah. You know, by the way, congratulations to Settle Down Beer. Their brewery or their spot is almost done.
Almost. And I cannot wait to take a road trip.
Yeah, I'll go down for a drink or two, but I'm not having 60 damn shots. I can't do it.
We have agreed we are not doing the Power Hour again. You, me, and Tracy swore a blood oath.
I see Tracy doing it.
Nope, no. She said no. Dub's got red wine. Jordan's got water or tea. Mike Bennett's got Yingling.
All right, Jordan, I'm giving you an instruction. That instruction is go into your kitchen and go grab an alcoholic beverage because you're an adult, damn it.
You can.
You're
allowed to by law.
Hello, Vanek. How you doing, bud?
He said he'll do Power Hour. You know what? If I could find another sub 5-point beer, I could probably be talked into doing it again. But anything 5 or over, no. No.
Yeah, those were. Wait, so the settle down. Those were what, 8s, 9s?
No, dear God, no. I wasn't trying to die. All 6 points. And I'm also not doing it in 100+ degree summer.
Oh yeah, that was probably like the worst part of the whole thing. We had cold beer, which is great, and it tasted great, but it was also in your garage, no less than 115 degrees. Lenny!
Well, I mean, you're not gonna get Lenny. You're not gonna get me to sit around and like get smashed over the course of an hour and not be able to smoke cigarettes, and I'm not gonna do that in my house. So, like, hey, let's drink all this booze and not have a cigarette. No, doesn't sound like me, sir. Not at all.
Like, I understand people that smoke. Most adult breath prune juice. I mean, you have to be an adult to moderate that. Like, how much prune juice is enough prune juice?
Well, just remember, prune juice is perfectly a laxative for babies as well as the elderly. It's that whole, as you get older, you revert back to, your infant-like state. So when you're a baby, you drink prune juice if you can't poop. When you're old, you drink prune juice if you can't poop.
Have you seen the movie Chips? With
the actual movie? No, I watched the show back in the day though.
No, okay, so completely different. There's a line in the movie where Dax Shepard is like, Dax Shepard's talking to I always forget his name, and they're going back and forth. He's like, "Hey man, you really got a problem. You're using the bathroom so much. Like, how much do you use the bathroom?" And Dax Shepard's like, "I don't know, every 2 or 3 weeks." It's like, what? How? Well,
every 2 or 3 weeks.
Well, the spoiler is that Dax Shepard is a pill popper, so like all the pills like just kind of back him up to the point where he doesn't use the restroom.
Fuck.
So, prune juice, man, prune juice and prescriptions. Hey,
your boy, no less 1982, is not having a good time with our stream.
Yeah. I'm trying to tell him here. I'm gonna send him a message. I'm gonna send him a private message. But the reason for that is Twitch
sucks.
Well, Twitch seems to like us after we're done airing. Not
they play about an hour later.
Right. So I'm gonna send him a message real quick. But tell the people what we're gonna do real quick.
Okay. So as we stated earlier, 8 bands, 8 new tracks. Some of these bands release full-length albums, and we will talk about the album a little bit in its entirety. I don't know if Brandon plans on doing a track-by-track review. The whole album review thing kind of got thrown in my lap on Friday or Saturday. So I was like, whoa, you expect me to talk about whole albums? And I was like, all right, cool, whatever. I'll figure it out. I'll listen to them all. And I did, and happy with what I got, man. We've got some great selections. There's nothing... here's the thing, in the interest of honesty, I don't know if I could play something I didn't like. Straight up.
So what you're trying to tell me is, if I put music on, you wouldn't listen to it? Like, if you didn't like it? Like, I mean, okay, that was a weird way to say that. So, like, you would only play tracks you like, so you would never have, like, a negative thought to something. Is that...
What's up, Nathaniel Duarte, by the way? Sadly there is no sex on Talking Shop with the Boss in the Box. Working on getting some sexy people for it, but more on that later. As far as things go, if we were to, when we do something like we did tonight, where we sit down, I don't know, you said you haven't listened to or watched everything. I have, because I wanted to be able to have an opinion on it beforehand, and then even see if I was swayed by listening to it in the moment. Okay. That being said, if you handed me something and I was just like, my God, this is trash, like this is unlistenable, I would probably hit you back and say, dude, we're not playing this on our show. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? As long as it wasn't bad for the sake of being funny.
Okay. I see what you're rocking there. I see what you're rocking.
Like when you played the I'm a Pirate, Give Me That Booty song. She was terrible.
It was terrible, but it was entertaining for 4 minutes.
It was entertaining for about 2 minutes.
J-Dub says Dave is talking about me right now.
No, you are not bad. Honestly, man, I'm super excited to play your track. You and Gürschach, y'all should fight for like our true house band title, even though, you're supposed to have wrote us a new theme song, by the way, just saying. Like, we agreed upon that 6 months ago. KLANK, what's going on, bud? How you doing tonight?
KLANK in the house, man. We're gonna do an album review of his latest album a little bit later as well. Man, we got a lot. We got a lot of stuff to go to. Get to.
Like I said, their latest album. I know KLANK carries the moniker, but KLANK is a unit. Because KLANK would not be great without That's for Video.
Whoa. Yes. But, when I say KLANK, I mean they.
You said he.
Oh, I'm sorry. I meant they. Pardon my pronouns, pal. I meant they.
Different kinds of pronouns here.
Unit.
I did say unit.
Vanek says, I just found a flyer from when we played with KLANK in Vallejo.
Yes, you posted that today.
That's pretty damn sexy. I'll just tell you that right now. It's pretty damn sexy.
All right, speaking of sexy, Brandon, let's get to our first song.
All right, so what do you want to hear? Am I just putting something up?
Your pick.
All right, song. Okay, so I cheated a little bit. We talked to him a couple episodes ago. Our boys in Gürschach, all right? So Gürschach, they're always working, they're always scheming, they're always doing like really, really cool things, right?
At all times.
And of course, wait, come on. Trying to get.
I like how you're talking to your system like it's a dog. Come on, boy. It's okay, boy. It's okay. Who's gonna play the track? You're gonna play the track.
Yes. So, our boys in Gürschach, they are always working, and right now they are in the midst of. They just finished a small tour. They are working on a full-length album, and they just They just released an EP that has 2 awesome as shit cover songs on it. Dead Skin Mask by Slayer and a complete reimagining of Saint Anger from Metallica. But what they also did was they released 3 songs, 3 brand new songs. And those songs are what you would call Gürschach. And what I mean by that is nobody sounds like Gürschach, but Gürschach sounds like everybody. Does that make any sense? Cool.
Elaborate.
What else do I have to elaborate on? Gürschach sounds like Gürschach, while Gürschach sounds like everybody. So at times they sound like Alice in Chains. At times they sound like Slayer. At times they sound like they are a chameleon of genre-bending music that we have come to love over the last few years of them being a band. And the EP that they came out with is called Hypnotic Disasters. And you can find that shit on Apple Music and Spotify and all the other stuff that Neil Young is totally against. So, even though they do have music videos out there, they have a completely off the wall lyric video for Dead Skin Mask, which is just grotesquely amazing. And then,
which you can check out in the archives if you watch our episode of We Talked to Gürschach again.
That's right. And then, before that, they released Saint Anger, which is their biggest hit that they've come out with 187,000 views on YouTube as we speak, and various more on TikTok. So good for them. They're rocking it. So they don't have any music videos or music video tracks on YouTube or anything else. So what I did was I found a live performance of their one of their songs. And this song is called I Am the Grim Reaper. So let's go ahead.
My personal favorite track off this album.
And before I do that, let me actually share my screen with you so you can hear what's going on.
Awesome. Yeah, like I was saying, as Brandon's doing that, this is my personal favorite track off this album. I requested it, and Brandon, being the ninja he is, went and found a version of it because he was like, well, all we've got's the reimagining covers and all that. And I was like, oh, that's cool and all, and those are great, but we played those already, both of them.
Right. All right, so go ahead and turn up your headphones, max out your stereo system. We're about to watch Gürschach live at Toots Tavern, playing the opening track off of Hypnotic Disasters. This is I'm the Grim Reaper.
Hey, Buckethead showed up.
Yes, he did.
This is a newer one of ours. I've only recently started playing it. And it's got Leyland Reed on the keyboard for this one. This song is called I'm the Grim Reaper. Introduction, you're an
if I'm not mistaken, I think that might have been one of the first or second times they've played that song live. So, great addition to their set. Like they already have a handful of songs. Cause I know this because I've seen and toured with Gürschach twice and probably seen them live at least freaking 30 times already.
Dude, I think I've seen him 30 times at this point. So, I mean, you've got him beyond that, unless you're not counting the tours.
Oh, I'm definitely counting the tours because I watched them every single night.
Yeah, Gürschach are just pros, man. They're really good at what they do. I didn't realize how much of that was going to be Scotty handling vocals. Mm-hmm. So that was kind of cool to see him do that. I love the addition of the keyboards. You had a point, man. The sound man needs to kick back just a little bit on them. But the fact that they actually had them live versus just utilizing a sample was great. Mm-hmm. The fact that Scotty and X are working on utilizing actual harmonies.
And that's kind of what they do best. Like, that's kind of what they've come into their own with in the last couple albums. Like, if you listen to Dark Matter, they do that a lot on. And this EP, they do that a lot on as well. So I can only imagine what's to come in their full lengths coming out sometime next year or so.
Well, what's funny is I had a bit of a discussion with Scotty last night about this album and was telling him how much I enjoyed it and, that I was stoked about it. And I was actually bitching that they didn't have a video for Grim Reaper. And then you hit me up like 10 minutes later to let me know that you had scored a live copy of it. And I was like, oh, that's badass. And he was saying that one of the reasons for the holdup was he sat down and worked on his chops. He actually went out and started working under the tutelage of Brian Altman. Mm-hmm. And, and was really sitting down on it and playing bass, not like a guitar player who picked up a bass, but learning to play bass like a bass player. Bear in mind, this is a couple years after he won Best Bass Player from Bands for Bands.
Right.
And I don't care if that's a little too inside baseball. If he wants to yell at me for divulging that later, he's welcome to do so. He can call me directly. He can message me. Hell, he can show up at my house. I'll pour him a drink. Point is I actually think that's ridiculously admirable and just shows a dedication to the craft and a humility that a lot of people just don't have. And that also lends into the harmonies. Like you said, on album, they do it. Live, they weren't that strong with it, and that show right there showed me they're a lot better.
Scotty says
He's in the chat.
Yeah.
He doesn't care.
He doesn't care.
Good, because neither do I. I mean, unless you were just looking for an excuse to come kick in my door and get a drink. Like,
hey, by the way, I totally missed the fact that Brian Altman does not live like literally one actual block away from my house, because when Scotty would go over there and start honing his craft on playing bass, he would also just randomly, unannounced, show up at my house and show up for Suburban Paranoia band practice. So...
Well, I mean, if there's anybody you're okay with doing that, it's Scott.
Yeah, and Heather likes Scott, too, and Heather doesn't like anybody, so...
I know. Like, everybody likes Scotty.
Yeah.
Like, Scotty's just one of those likable dudes. Like, I always liked the guy, but when you brought him into Giving the Devil His Due because we needed a bass player, like, first words out of my mouth when we got in the car is, why don't I hang out with this guy more often? Like, and so now that we've had the opportunity to play together a few times and... whatnot. Hell, they're our most featured guests.
Oh, absolutely. And I wouldn't want it any other way, honestly. So that's I'm the Grim Reaper. Check out Hypnotic Disasters on Spotify, Apple Music, and anywhere you can stream stuff. The whole.
Do you want to break that album down a little bit?
You can. I kind of said what I mostly wanted to say. I was kind of short and sweet with it. Like, Gürschach sounds like Gürschach, and nobody sounds like Gürschach, or everybody, or Gürschach sounds like everybody. It's kind of all over the place. You hear hints of all bands coming from them. And by the way, watching that video, X just kind of looks like Peter Steele, but like 4 feet tall.
X is taller than that.
I know. but Peter Steele was also like 8 feet tall, so.
Well, X is taller than you are.
No, he's not. He's about my size.
No, X is taller than us, dude.
You think so?
Yes.
I don't know.
Like, Gürschach as a whole is taller than we are. Them some big boys, and X is the short one.
Yeah, Scotty's tall. Scotty's bigger than me for sure.
Scotty's a fucking mammoth, dude. And you don't realize it because he looks like a giant child.
Fuck. No.
But anyway,
okay.
His Halloween costume was Peter Steele.
Wait a
man,
minute, no shit. That's great.
Overall, as far as Hypnotic Disasters as an album goes, you just heard the opening track. Cyberocracy is a lot of fun. Just
different.
That knock on our online living. And then the Incarceration Proclamation. Gürschach is pretty heavy on the justice system, as you might recognize by Innocent Blood too. So I like X being impactful with his lyrics and learning to tell a story and make a point really well. And he's always been good at it. He's gotten better at it. The two covers, they are what they are. We've talked about those and played them extensively. Fact of the matter is, if you ever thought that Gürschach was going to be a band that we weren't going to endorse like ridiculously, you turned in the wrong fucking show, bro. Like,
we're not really one-sided over here, so we love all things. So,
but we really love Gürschach.
We do love Gürschach, so we're a little biased, but either way, the whole EP is fantastic. If you love cover songs, Saint Anger, the reimagining is amazing, especially if you hated Saint Anger by Metallica. And then Dead Skin Mask is more along the lines of Dead Skin Mask, just sounds way better in production.
Right, because that was the one, like, they decided that's what they were going to do, is tackle the good songs that were recorded badly.
Right. So, ladies and gentlemen, go check out Gürschach, buy their shirts, and go check out Hypnotic Disasters. So, good shit there.
I want my free pair of Gürschachs, damn it.
I wonder if they have any more left after a tour. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do a song reaction or review, whatever you want to call it. This is something that came from a good friend of ours. Kind of surprised us that she is in a band again after leaving another band. And
I'm not surprised.
Oh,
it was just a matter of time.
No, absolutely. I wasn't surprised at all. So this is a band called Neverbloom. I'm sorry. Like I said, I put way too much Jameson in this cup, man. And this is a brand new song that they released. And that song is called Clarity.
Time to
Wow. Just come on.
Welcome back, Ali Grabowski.
That's right. You know, straight from Hellheart fame. You might have known her from such Pantera cover song videos such as "This Love" and more. So, but that is irrelevant at this point because Neverbloom is here, and they're taking no prisoners. I mean, like I said in the chat, I love the Spirit Box feel, and I'm not just trying to say that because she's a female vocalist. What I'm trying to say is her vocals are amazing, and so is Spirit Boxes, is what I'm trying to say.
She's a big fan. I mean, she even just, you can see her doing a cover on the Neverbloom YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, of her doing a cover of Rule of Nines by Spirit Box.
Right.
So, I mean, I get you. What I've always loved about Ali is she's not afraid to get heavy, and she does it in a way that doesn't just slam it out there. Like, you know what I mean? Like, she actually, you can tell she puts work into it, whereas a lot of male and female vocalists will just scream and they don't hone it in. You can tell she's done it in such a way that takes care of her voice. Chick's only 23, and she's been doing it for 5 fucking years on a stage.
Right, and she's got a lot of life left in her, and this is just another example of the longevity of what Ali is going to do in this sweet-ass band. And by the way, I got to say, the production of this song is pristine.
Pristine.
It's so clean. And I just love the genty riff. I don't mean gent as a genre. I mean just like it was just so clean, and the tone is just like ooh. It gave me goosies.
A lot of bands that tune down like that don't sound clean. Even a lot of your bigger bands. I mean, that was one of the reasons why I didn't get into a lot of deathcore and gent and stuff, is because back when it first started becoming a big thing, God, everybody in fucking A just sounded like trash to me. Like, I am one of those few people that despises Whitechapel. At least their earlier work. Because you can't separate anything from anything. It's just... And the only time you can separate anything is when they do open breakdowns. So that's become a bigger art, and they've capitalized on that. The synchronization on the bass, drum, guitar, the rhythm section's very tight. You know, of course, we could spend all day talking about Ali because that's our buddy. But, you know, it's a good fit all the way around. You know, and I'm mad that I've had to sit on a single for 2 weeks. I want the rest of it, damn it.
I agree. J-Dub says heaviness is not in the riff, is in the riff, not the tuning, and I agree. Yeah, I mean, hell, it took Slipknot 2 or 3 albums to really tune in the production for those low guitars. It took a while for Korn to even sound good with those low tune guitars. I mean, different styles for sure, but yeah, man. It takes a while to really get it, and I feel like they got it right off the bat. So I can't wait to hear what is to come. I can foresee Neverbloom kind of shooting to the top of the the live show circuit almost immediately.
The notoriety on their singer, and let alone, I don't know the rest of the guys, but they look polished. Like, none of them seem very rookie-like. So if nothing else, they at least had a great vision to put together, and they're all solid musicians. So I'm with you. Mm-hmm. Like, bring it on, Neverbloom. Like, I know some losers that might want to play a show with you in hometown.
Absolutely. I know a thrash band that would, too. Okay. So, anyways, that's Neverbloom. Great job, Ali. So let's take it back to the list and see what else we got here, shall we? So, the next band I'm going to feature, this is actually from a friend of mine. I think it's more of a project. I'm not really sure. They're kind of mysterious about what they do.
It's a 2-man band.
Yeah. But there's no telling if it's going to become a full band or not at this point. But I dug this. Let me pull up their information real quick before I butcher anything. I gotta learn how to spell stuff first. Okay. So, they came out with an 8-song EP album. When does it cut off for a full-length album? What do you think?
I always anything above 8, I always thought was considered a full-length album. But I mean, these guys, some of these songs are long. So I mean, shit, like when Sleep did Dope Smoker, like that song's an album in itself.
Right.
Like, I mean, that's an hour song. Like, does that count as an album?
Well, I mean, you could also say the same thing about NoFX's the Decline. It's just like what a 28 or what 18 or 28 minute song. I forget, but yeah. Anyways, these guys are from Brentwood, California. Some young cats. Yes, it is only 2 of them. It's also a buddy of mine who used to be in... Oh, shit, you're right. Thank you, Mike. 46. It's been a long time.
Scotty says British standard for an EP is 25 or under.
Okay. These guys, like I said, are from the Brentwood area. The guitar player, he used to play in Giving the Devil's Due. The second version of Giving the Devil's Due, when I had a bunch of young cats playing with me, which was great. His name is Ryan Graham.
Wait a minute, was this the version you brought to play the Brutal release?
Yes.
Oh, so I have met this guy.
Yeah, and at the time, Ryan himself was probably all of 15 or 16 years old at that time.
Shit, you can tell the kid's been putting in the work the whole time.
Oh God, yeah, he was head above water then. So, this is their creation. No pun intended. This project or band is called the Archimedes Creation, and I have a track for you. This track is called Pass, and you can find their music on all streaming platforms, including YouTube. It is just a track song, unfortunately, not a music video, but you could check out what they're all about. So this song is called Pass. ladies and gentlemen, that was the Archimedes creation. That song was called Pass, and you can listen to their whole 8-song album, EP, on...
Just go with album.
Album, yeah, 8-song album, all over the interwebs. Good stuff. It's very clean. So upon listening to the album, it gave me, like, the impression that is audibly beautiful, honestly. Like, I really dig that kind of stuff. Like, it's beautiful in its aura and aesthetics. Like, what I like about it is it sounds very reminiscent of, like, Misery Signals, August Burns Red, and even Periphery. Like, I'm not a huge fan of Periphery, but what I do like about them is they give this, like, there's ambience to it. And on this album, there's actually an interlude or two that is very Zen-like. Like, they have songs that you can just destroy your living room to, and then you have songs that you can get a massage to. It's very interesting.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. It's got a very cool concept to it. Heavy with a sense of eerie is the way Clinton puts it.
Yes.
You know, the interludes are titled as such. The intro is the load, the interlude is the fulcrum, and the outro is the effort,
right,
which is staying true to Archimedes, which, if you don't know, Archimedes was a mathematician.
Right.
So it's basically it's an engineered album, is the way it's put. It's basically music made by an engineer, which Lenny should be all about over there. So I love it. I really do. Personally, I would not, if I was only doing 8 tracks, I would not waste 3 of them on interludes, but that's my opinion. Mm-hmm. As a writer. As a fan, I enjoyed it. I had a good time with it. But, like, it really was kind of like, I just get going, and all of a sudden it's like, wait a minute, what? We're doing another interlude? Like,
hey, man, we're old. We need to take a break every song or two.
You need to take a break every song or two. This motherfucker's younger than we are.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. All right, so yeah, like I said, the Archimedes creation. That was Pass. Go check out Lever. Good shit.
Don't pass on it.
Don't pass. Shit. Okay, you did it. All right.
You can always count on me to be a little punny here and there, Brandon.
Funny, sure. Punny, not usually. But
you just don't pay attention, sir.
But anyways, this next song that I'm going to actually react to, because I haven't actually listened. I listened to like 10% of it and decided I wanted to listen to it live on the show. Is from our buddy J-Dub. And the song title itself is actually from a band that Brian Altman says I sound like in my vocals, and that is Death by Stereo. Do you remember that band, sir?
I actually, when I searched it up to see if there was a video for it so we could utilize it for the show, I was like, there's a band called Death by Stereo? Huh.
Like really cool hardcore band from like the early 90s and up until like the 2000s. So check them out. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, this is our buddies. Pinky up.
Friends of the show.
Friends of the show. Pinky up, ladies and gentlemen. This is Life Jacket. And this is another, this is a brand new song they just released. It is not a music video, but it is a track. But different flavor. We've been playing metal and all the real explosive stuff. Now let's listen to something with some melody.
Kids craze off goth punk dance new wave. Their neon heads stuck in arcades. So take aim with fire. The flames will be burning for me instead. Hey, white lights play out in frames. I've got one life left to play. I'm playing for keeps, so turn it up loud. I'm turning the radio. I'm sick of
I'm gonna echo exactly what I said about him when we had Life Jacket on for an interview numerous episodes back, and I gotta say, they just make me think of Warped Tour. I want to go to Warped Tour. They make me think of summer. They make me think of barbecues. They make me think of drinking shitty beer in the sun. Like, they make me think of, pop punk. Pop punk is, if you can't carry a melody to your songs, you're just a bad pop punk band. Unfortunately, Life Jacket is a good pop punk band. Therefore, yeah, dude, keep them coming, man. You guys sound a lot like a band I used to play shows with back in the day. They were called Alexic. I know Clinton Smith knows who they are way back in the day. They kind of remind me of that a little bit. Alexic had a little bit of a harder edge, but the melodies were there. So, yes, unfortunately, you're good. I hate that you're good. God damn it. Yes. What the hell? Oh, man, I triggered my Alexa again. My Alexa's yelling at me behind me. I know you played bass for him, Clinton. But, yeah, the vocal tone kind of reminds me of that. Great melodies overall. Kind of reminds me of a Simple Plan, a little bit of All Time Low. But good stuff, man. Good stuff.
Forgot I was muted. I muted myself so I could sing along to that song because I, being a broadcast journalist, as it were, and maybe J-Dub, maybe my oldest friend in music, may have scored that like a couple weeks early. And so I already know it word for word. And the best thing about Life Jacket and anything J-Dub has ever done is the man is a self-proclaimed sucker for a hook. Mm-hmm. Meaning, he loves a catchy hook. He loves to not only sing them, he loves to write them. And ever since I've known him, he has just had a knack for throwing together a melody that you will be singing along to by the end of the song. You already knew that chorus all the way across the board. As soon as that was over.
Right.
Less than 3 minutes in, and you know the chorus. And he was always good at that, and over COVID, he got a gig selling jingles.
Oh, yeah.
So he's done an even better job. It's a skill he's worked hard on. His team, E-Rock Fuentes, I watched him be the creepy merch guy who kind of played instruments to turn into a decent singer, guitar player. Now he's playing bass. I've seen him do keyboards, done a lot of work. Macker, you'll see him in Life Jacket. You'll also see him out there with our boy Quentin in The Infirmities. And good old Stephen Kells, he's just a good dude. Like, I got nothing. Great musician and a good dude. So that's what I got for our old buddy, Killer Kelly Kells there. So they're just a great unit. And everything that they're doing is different in the fact that, they are bringing back the old school pop punk. They're relying heavily on good melodies, good harmonies, stuff that you can just have fun with, which is nice because everybody takes themselves too fucking seriously nowadays.
Ugh, God, you ain't wrong.
So, once again, you're going to be hard pressed to have me say anything bad about J-Dub or anything he's involved in. But, no, this is raising the bar, and he knows that I set a high bar for him.
Yep. So, yeah, keep up the good work. Keep pumping out those songs and do them a little quickly because, man, I'll tell you what, we need more of them. Like, if the next 12 songs that you guys are going to come up with are going to be as catchy as this, I'm on board. I'm all the way on board. So just bring it.
Oh, I apologize, and I would like to give a Life Jacket announcement. They announced yesterday that they are recently signed with Kingside Records. So they're going to actually have some help. And I know Dub has been around forever. He's not going to do something that's not going to be useful to him. So I hope this really works out for you guys because you've all been working so hard. You deserve it.
Right. So, sorry, I'm just placing a little something real quick. Okay, anyways, so coming up next, we've done a few songs. Now let's do another album review, shall we?
Sure.
So in the chat, we referred to them as Unit or They. Ladies and gentlemen, they just came out, less than a week ago, or a week or so ago, a whole brand new album called Between Unholy and Divine, Volume 1. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Life is Futile by KLANK. Check this shit out.
You know, KLANK just always has a way of throwing messages in their videos. Like, I feel like you should have Damon Wayans from Don't Be a Menace yell message right at the beginning of every KLANK video, because they're all going to have one.
By the way, I want to give major props to the lyrical portion of it. As a somewhat of a lyric video, I loved the system prompts as the lyrics.
Yes.
Those were so fucking cool.
Yeah, that was very original.
Right.
And
reminded me of The Matrix.
yeah, very neat concept all the way around.
What was it, Pat? Was he the one who made the music video, or was that you, KLANK? Because, man, like, I got to talk to you about some music video stuff.
You weren't already talking to Clank about music video stuff? Like,
I love the concept. Yes, because man, most of us live our life online, and we're missing some things because of that.
absolutely. And, the whole album is, you can definitely tell that our boy Clank was going through some stuff all the way around, from brutal divorces to, dealing with everything else like we're doing, seeing the way the world's going, to being more of a cyberocracy, as, to throw some love back to Gürschach over there. Like, it's, everything on this album was very emotional, very impactful. And still never lost that attitude of Clank when the mosh pit meets the dance floor. It's all stuff that I could see in the club as it sits, and I could hella see a DJ worth their salt taking this and doing different things with it, and it's the sort of thing that with Clank, you can bang your head, you can shake your ass, whatever you want to do.
I got to be that guy. I got to be a little cringy in my comparisons. That's just what I do. I listen to stuff and I always hear other things. That's just a mental tick of mine. It happens. But, when I was listening...
That's not a mental tick. We all do that.
Well, like, I'm always comparing. And I don't know if it's healthy that I'm always comparing things. Like,
as long as you're not throwing better, worse, or rip off.
No, absolutely not. So when I listened to this 8-song album, I heard lots and lots and lots of Static X. I heard lots and lots and lots of Nine Inch Nails. I heard lots and lots and lots of Rammstein. And I was not mad at it one bit. The album's pretty short. At least I think it's short. I mean, let me look at it. It's 33 minutes. And I remember just you told me, you're like, "Oh yeah, Clank just released the whole album." I listened to the album. I'm like, "Oh shit, okay." Just yesterday, I think. And I was like, "All right, well, I'm doing homework. I'm putting some stuff together, so cool." So I listened to it. One way through, and like, I would listen to it again. It's very clean. It's very track. There's not a bad track on the whole album. It's very consistent all the way through. Every song has a different feel to it, but it all falls within the same theme. So,
which is, well, per your interpretation.
No, I mean the same theme as in how they sound. Like, every song sounds just a little bit different from the other song, but
it blends well.
It blends well. Thank you. Yes, thank you.
Okay. No, I agree. And that's something that, as somebody who's been writing and producing albums for so long, that I always think Clank has done a really good job of. All the way from Still Suffering. Urban Warfare is my Clank album, and that's that. You know what? I like this album, but Urban Warfare still, that's my Clank album. Maybe that's because when I was introduced to him, when they sent us tracks for Big Bully Radio that me and J-Dub used to do together. But this album has, like I said, so much emotion, and you could tell that you just threw that on the floor there, Clank. And once again, with Pat and you guys have you're a well-oiled unit. And yeah, I said unit again. And you just do it so well. You write, and then you ask him to add the ambiance and give you, and you guys put your minds together, and you could tell you guys have a good flow. I will throw one piece of criticism / request in Goodbye From Me. The chorus, the samples, the tech is a little heavy, and I get what in listening to it a second time, I dug it. I dug it more, rather. Like, I understood the concept a little better. But all I could think was, man, I'm just really getting into these lyrics, and maybe it's the system in my car, but the tech kind of pulled away from it a little bit. So I'm not asking you to change it because A, the album's already out, and B, it sounds great. I'm asking if you have that lying around somewhere, if I could get that up in my DMs and maybe hear that raw. Shit, if you want to call me and play it acoustic, you're welcome to do so. Like, I'd like to hear that without all the dressing. because it's a very raw, emotional song. And I'd like to hear it both ways, is what I'm saying. I love what you did with it. It's a great song. But I want to hear it stripped. That's a request from a fan.
And I agree, J-Dub. Clank is legendary Bay Area gold. So, yes.
Not only Bay Area to New York, dude. He did it like you did, Dub. He came from the East Coast and transplanted his ass over here. Mm-hmm. So, like I said, I'd like to hear that differently, more for my own personal satisfaction than any real sort of criticism. Like I'm the kind of guy that I think of choir covers to hip hop songs. Like I hear something and it just goes click, and some part of my brain says I want to hear this differently. Not because there's anything wrong with it, but because maybe it's an element I hear in it that just makes me think differently, which I also commend you on doing that too, because it takes a lot of music for me to dive into it so hard and want to dig deeper. You know what I mean? Like something has to really grab hold of me and make me be like, oh, I want to hear this more. I want to hear this differently. I want to hear this without that. I want to, hey dude, add some violin. Like, you know what? Brandon, please tell me you know what I'm talking about.
I do. Basically, it hits you where you least expect it.
Yeah, and like I said, I even get my own different concepts. It's like I wish I was talented because I would do like banjo covers of Clank songs. Like just to do something different. You know what I mean? To take something I love and throw my own spin on it, because to me that's the shit. I love pop covers, punk covers of pop songs and pop covers of punk songs and old country songs turned into metal. I love it. Like, and to me, there's no higher form of honor than somebody with an idea taking your idea and thinking harder about it because they care enough to dig into it. So I hope you really take that for what I mean, Clank. I love it. Like, keep doing cool shit that I can zone out on. Yes, we did play Clank. Built to Survive. That was my introduction to Clank.
Right. Yeah, I was fortunate to have them on Devastated Fest way back in the day.
Which is where I met them in person for the first time.
It's all connected.
I say it over and over, man. The music is the number 2 thing in what we all do. Number 1 is the connections we make, man. And I'm happy to be hanging out, reviewing all my friends' music and getting introduced to new music.
Right.
Because I know Brandon Blacker.
Well, I mean, you've introduced me to a whole hell of a lot of new music as well. Thank you for introducing me to Life Jacket. Definitely.
Where I go, Dub goes. If you hang out with me long enough, you'll see Dub's band.
Oh, man. All right, so let's go ahead and move on. What's up, Madam J? We got 3 more songs to go. And I will say, before we do anything else, 2 of these songs I'm going to play back to back. I'm going to go ahead and do some business here real quick. So, real quick, Friday, February 11th, Punk and Metal United, United Defiance, Captive State, Creepy Crawlies, and Deadwoods play at Toots Tavern. $10, 21 and up. 9 p.m. And I will say, if you want to go to a real awesome venue that doesn't care if you had a jab or not, go rock out to Punk and Metal United. It's going to be a fun-ass show. I think I'm going to be there. We shall see. But regardless, we're featuring 2 of the people on this list right now. The first one that we're going to feature...
And real quick, by the way, Dead Redwoods features friend of the show, Tracy LaBrie. Which, if you've never rocked out with Tracy LaBrie, man, you're not living your best life. That's our buddy. She came, drank, and crashed at my house.
Yeah, dude. She's one of the most awesome, beautiful chicks I've ever met. Like
She puts the black in black metal.
Oh, shit.
And wears a shirt that says so.
Well, it's okay. She said that. The first band we're going to play, we're going to react to a song. This song is called Lucy, Forgive Me, and this is by Captive State. Yo, so one thing I gotta say about that. I don't know who Lucy is, but man, who did she piss off? Shit, dude. These guys are angry, and I love it. Bring me the anger.
I'm not sure, like, if I were Lucy, if I'd forgive him for that, like, unless that's what Lucy's into, and then Lucy should forgive him because that was really good.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with a little. There's nothing wrong with a little bit of hate fucking. Okay.
Hey, I'm just saying, I have a thing for deathcore bands with a fat kid's lead singer, so.
Actually, by technicality, the singer of both of these bands that we're about to feature are technically like 17th cousins of mine.
Wait a minute, these are the same two singers?
No.
Oh, okay.
Two different guys, both cousins, and they're cousins of mine, technically.
On which side?
My dad's side.
So they're blackers?
No. Married in.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Thank you, Clinton. Tony is Clinton's nephew.
So what's Clinton to you?
A married-in cousin.
Brandon, are you your own grandpa?
Cousin.
You're your own cousin.
It's hard to explain, man. I have a huge fucking family.
I thought we were a small family, and then Facebook came out, and there's a bunch of us.
What I mean by huge, there's Patos, there's Gonzagas, there's Lopez's, there's Groves, there's
I don't think you should be talking about your family's Gonzagas. That's creepy.
Anyways, though, Tony Smith, the singer of Captive State, good shit. Very angry. I love it. That's my wheelhouse right there. More angry, the better. Mo angry, the better. Good driving music, actually. Like I think I'll get a speeding ticket tomorrow thanks to Captive State.
I was just gonna say, like, good if you want to get caught up.
Yeah, man. All right. So this next band, we listened to their album, and let me pull up the informations. And I know the name of it, but my memory is so bad all the time.
What, the United Defiance album?
Oh, okay, yes. So changing the frequency, ladies and gentlemen. United Defiance. These guys have been around forever. Like, literal forever. Like, probably about as long as Dan has been around. Oh, by the way, happy birthday, Daniel Ruda, guitar player for Suburban Paranoia. He turned 51 today after 35 years in Suburban Paranoia.
And is still banned from this show.
He's still banned for that.
If he'd have asked to come on tonight, we might have let him because it's his birthday. Otherwise, he's got to wait another year.
But okay, so United Defiance was kicking off fun high-speed punk rock for the last, gosh, Clinton, what was it been? At least, 12, 15 years at this point? No less than that. I mean, no pun intended.
Wait, is he one of them?
Clinton Smith is the singer of United Defiance.
Right on, dude. Thanks for coming out tonight. Appreciate it.
18 years, as he said.
Fuck.
Yeah, man. There's been numerous lineup changes. Well, actually, not that many, now that I think about it.
But the band's old enough to vote.
Absolutely. And, pose on OnlyFans and that kind of stuff. So, maybe we'll get a nice music video of that one day. But I will say, United Defiance, they've come a long way since the Better Off Drunk era. And that was many moons ago. And still love that song. But with Change the Frequency, we see a lot of bringing out the. And I use Warped Tour a lot when it comes to punk rock because that was a lot of my experience with punk rock. I went to probably every Warped Tour but 2 of them. So I saw a lot of bands from that era, and they, even still to this day, United Defiance reminds me of 1998, 1999 punk rock era kind of. Punk rock. It reminds me of Guttermouth and Suicide Machines, TSOL. I think No Effects,
Pennywise.
Pennywise, 1,000%. Thank you. I can't believe that wasn't my number one thing.
That was the first thing I thought when I listened to this album, because I listened to it cover to cover. The intro, man. If you want to steal my attention, use Fight Club. Use Fight Club inventively, and you've got me.
Right.
Like, I'm paying attention immediately.
Gürschach's using that nowadays too. They'll be using Fight Club on their next album as well. That's something I know.
A lot of people do, but you got to use it well.
Mm-hmm.
And they use this very well to kick it off with Running Out of Time.
You know, listening to Changing the Frequency or Change the Let me make sure I got it right. I'm sorry. Yes, Change the Frequency. Thank you. So what I've noticed about United Defiance, like over the years, I feel like they've matured a little bit. It's still punk rock. It's still fast. It's still melody friendly. It's still got gang chants and vocals and cool things like that. But I've noticed there is an emotion behind the lyrics and the music that was kind of not as present in past years. So I think this is the whole album itself was a more personal endeavor. And to me, I could feel the emotion behind it. So, I mean, if there's a little more to it, Clinton, by all means, please drop it in the chat and tell us a little bit. But the song that we're going to feature is the only song that we have an actual music video for right now, and that is Sing With Me from Change the Frequency. Let's check this out.
Oh, damn it. I wasn't prepped. I was prepped for Cool Kids Club.
Yeah, well, okay, so the reason...
I just figured I'd plug another one of their songs. You didn't have to make an excuse for me.
Okay, all right, well...
Like, I just figured I'd plug another song. I already named one earlier.
Okay, so I'm going to say the excuse. I was going to feature that song. Then I realized it was released like 2 or 3 years ago, and that was before Change the Frequency. So I wanted to find something that was just real update, current and up to date. So,
yeah, no, I get it.
But the Cool Kids Club is on this album, though. So,
well, and that was why I put a playlist together of every song we were featuring today to sit down on it. I mean, when a band did the whole album, I listened to the whole album, but I wanted to make sure I leaned on the track we were featuring. So now I'm screwed, and it's all your fault.
All right. Well, let's have some fun with some sock puppets.
Whoa, there's sock puppets? I'm in.
All right, this is Sing With Me by United Defiance.
Sing with me. Gonna go play a song. Yeah. Bass player.
Looking back at what is wrong, we're passing unity through a song. I think it's time to sound the gong.
Blurk.
Man, where to begin?
Have at it, man.
They have fucking sock puppets, dude. Like, that scores major style points with me. Because if you ask my band, I'm obsessed with sock puppets. And I'm not, but I do enjoy them. I was a Syphil and Ollie fan back in the day. And then drummer used a D-drum kit, and I play on a D-drum kit, so he gets style points for that. And that seems like the sort of band that should play more shows with nothing but losers. But we have to be careful because I feel like we'll get arrested.
Why?
What do you mean, why? Did you not just watch? Did we not watch the same video? They seem like the kind of idiots that would take on an idiot challenge from your Central Valley's biggest idiots.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, but nobody idiots it up more than nothing but losers. So
these guys look like they're up to the challenge. I'm just saying, if Losers and United Defiance play together, you might want to be there. Like, clear your fucking calendar, because this is going to be epically stupid and great at the same time.
To answer Gürschach's question and Mike's question, no, Mike, you are not banned. In fact, you haven't been banned in a while. But thanks for joining us. Gürschach, did I miss anything? Yes, we played Never Blooms. We played KLANK, Life Jacket, Archimedes Creation. We also played Captive State, and we just played United Defiance.
So you pretty much missed everything except our last song.
Oh yeah. That's right. We do have one more, huh?
We do have one more. I'm kind of surprised you saved this for the main event. I was going to try and talk you into Life Jacket, but I didn't want to hold you up. You had a flow going.
It's whatever. I don't consider anything a main event per se. I'm just going. I'm just going with it. So it just happens to be the last song.
Main events are made by announcers, dude. Don't forget that. And what do we do on a side gig?
We're announcers.
Yeah. Like, the soundtrack to people's lives. And I just want to say, for the benefit of those at home and those who don't know, repeat this after me. Fuck Trip Rogers.
Hey. You leave Trip Rogers out of this, okay?
No.
Trip Rogers is your CWA Central Valley champion, and he earned that right to be champion. So show him the respect that he deserves, mister.
Well, my mother would slap me for this, and Davey Dangerously would buy me a beer and give me a hug. The man is still a cunt.
All right, KLANK, thank you for joining us. Tell Pat we said hello, and we shall see you soon.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you for the new album, man. Really appreciate it. And yes, what I said earlier sticks. Like, send me that stripped down track.
Speaking of stripped down, so would it be considered naked if a sock puppet was just a hand?
Then it'd just be a hand. It wouldn't be a sock puppet. Aren't sock puppets inherently naked anyway? They're just socks.
I mean, it wouldn't just be like a naked sock puppet. Like, I mean, if two unsocked sock puppets like kind of go together like this, would this be like weird sexual sock puppet sex?
So are you having sock puppet sex live on Talking Shop with the Boss in the Box episode 144?
I am, and I hope we get banned by YouTube because
because we already did it once this month. Might as well do it again.
By the way, if you guys haven't heard, last week's episode we covered pro wrestling, as we do very seldomly now, and we covered the Royal Rumble, what was going on with the current Rumble, and we showed some clips from the 1994 Royal Rumble. Now I gotta say, man, I thought we were getting off scot-free, but during the show, YouTube was like, nah, bro. You know, we're banning this from YouTube. How dare you use copyrighted videos, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
We're going to give you a strike.
We're going to give you a strike. And we got a strike. But I appealed to YouTube, and I was like, look, the footage that we use is over 25 years old. It's fair use, yada, yada, yada. And YouTube came back and said, all right, you're good. No problem. no strike. So we won. Awesome. No more than 10 minutes later, I get an email from YouTube saying WWE has come in and blocked your video.
So we've been flagged by the Vatican and blocked by WWE.
You can't pin us
Suck
down. Fuck WWE.
Suck it. We have gotten fucking, stricken by two of the biggest entities in the world. What have you done lately?
Mike Vanek says the only sock puppets I like are the manger babies.
Oh my God, my wife just shot the biggest glare that almost burned a hole through my computer screen.
What does that mean?
My wife, what, the manger babies?
What is that? I don't know what that is.
You didn't watch King of the Hill?
Oh.
Those were Luann's sock puppets.
Understood. I get it now.
And my wife hates King of the Hill.
All right, so would you like to get to our final song?
Our final song of the night.
This is a husband.
Sent it by a very dear friend who actually just shared it with me to be like, hey, I just dropped a new song. Would you listen to it and tell me what you think? And I was like, tell you what, bro, I'll do you one better. A while back, you asked me if we would feature your band, and at the time, we weren't doing any music stuff, so I forgot about it.
Yep.
You hit me the week before we drop a music episode. So, Aiden, Jocelyn, my people, you are the main event tonight. You are the final song.
Yes, this is a husband and wife duo. Aiden and Jocelyn Reed, is that how you say it? Their last name, Reed?
Correct.
And they are known as Replication.
Oh, that would have been sick if you wouldn't have bombed that.
Replication! Okay, anyways.
Replication.
Replication, man. You ready for some replication, man?
I am. It'll never be replicationed again.
All right. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, this is Artists and Thieves. Let's check this out and see what this is all about.
Everything I would have done out there is yours today. Yours today. Yours everything I've heard, inspiration for more. All my eyes see, made for understanding. Everything I've heard, inspiration for more. All my eyes see, made for understanding. Made for understanding. Taking my hands when I touch, needing you, calling my sharing breathing. Everything that's beautiful, having all
I want to hear this live. Like, I really, really do. Because I've met her. She is a beautiful, rather petite woman who does not look like she sounds like that at all.
No.
But then again, you know, we also bore witness to Ali Grabowski earlier too, so there's that. Like, people can't look like you expect them to sound.
Okay, so number one, the one thing I want to kind of mention here is the production. The production needs a little work. Before I get into that, I'll comment on the song. The song had a lot of really cool ideas. You know, dynamic wise, I like some of the swells and the build-ups. Jocelyn sounds great. You know, I like the lyrics that you have put forward. But a little more on the production. I feel like a little more time could have been spent mixing the vocals a little bit better. I feel like Aiden was a little more powerful in the screaming vocals to the point where it took away from the production of the rest of the instruments. And Jocelyn was way too high in the mix where she overpowered the rest of the song. When you guys came together vocally, it sounded really cool. So like I said, a lot of cool ideas in the song, and if you go to their YouTube, they have a lot of videos that they've already released, a lot of songs they've already released. It's kind of the same bag, kind of a techno metal kind of thing, and I dig it, but for me, the production goes a little flat. But I'm not gonna hate on it because I'm somebody who does the production myself for my own stuff. So yeah, we're going to run into issues every once in a while. But I feel like it needs just a little more work, a little more mixing.
Now, do you think it's an issue of mistake or an issue of my point is, do you think it's intentional? You know, because I've heard Aiden's other stuff. He did the Echoes of the Forgotten album. He's sharp. So my point is, do you think that it's really an issue with production, or does it just not sound appealing to you because potentially the stylistic concept they're going for isn't something you're into?
No, not at all. Like,
so you want to hear it differently?
No, not at all. For example, you know, earlier in the show we listened to KLANK, and KLANK's production, you know, with the techno metal and all of that kind of stuff, like it sounded perfect. You heard everything. Now, I'm not expecting somebody to, you know, especially when they're self-producing something, I'm not expecting everything to sound absolutely pristine. No way. Absolutely not. But I felt like it could have used a little more work before releasing it. My biggest production issue is just the fact that the mix of both vocals were so high in the mix that it took away from the overall music track.
Well, no, I understand what you're saying, but hear me out this. When you mentioned KLANK earlier, you talked about a lot of Nine Inch Nails, Rammstein, Static X, a lot of the more techno metal that's more metal than techno, which is a good way to describe KLANK. Are you with me?
Right, absolutely.
Okay. So what you didn't mention was some of the more abrasive house, techno, goth, industrial stuff from the early 90s, which is what I think Aiden's kind of pushing at, which is like your Acid Bath, Lords of Acid, stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean,
you know,
I love KMFDM. You know, like,
oh, there's another good example.
I love KMFDM, and I love
MSI.
Ministry, like,
yeah, Ministry's that fine middle ground.
Well, I would compare Replication more to Ministry than anything. It's like Ministry with clean female vocals.
in musical style, sure, but in production, like I said, I feel that Acid Bath and Lords of Acid type thing. That's where I really, it hits with me that the first couple times you listen to it, it's mildly unpleasant till you understand what they're after.
Yeah. The point is, my opinion was, I think they could have done a little bit better. I enjoyed the theme of the track. I enjoyed the lyrics. I thought they had a lot of good ideas. I just wish they spent just a little more time in the studio mixing it up a little bit more. Give me your thoughts on it.
Like I said, I don't find a fault with it, but also bear in mind I'm not in production. I listen as a consumer, unless we're talking drums. So like I said, to me, I just think that's more the concept they're going for. I understand where you could want better production and want to hear different things. Like you would want to hear more of X, Y, and Z, where they're really pushing, alpha and omega.
Right.
But I think maybe that's what they want to stand out. And sometimes I feel like we as consumers look at that too much. Instead of what's the artist's vision, we want to hear it the way we want to hear it, or the way we would produce it, or the way we would want it to sound. And that was like why I wanted to be heavy on clarifying that earlier with that KLANK song. I dug it, especially the second time around. It's just when I first listened to it, I was soaked up in the lyrics, and then they got swallowed a little bit. But on listening to it a second time around, I was like, okay, I still feel that problem, but I understand now. It's not just fresh ears. It's listening to it with an analytical ear, versus thinking of it as, okay, I put this on. What am I listening to?
Okay.
Which, I mean, I didn't, as we discussed privately, the United Defiance album didn't grab a hold of me at first on my first listen to. When I played it on my drive today, I enjoyed it a lot more because I wasn't trying to pick it apart. I'd heard it. And that's where I'm going with it, is maybe give it another listen with a different ear. Try not to look at it the way you looked at it to begin with.
Well, now, one thing you have to keep in mind, Lunchbox, this is my opinion. You can sway.
Yeah.
You can do all you want to sway my opinion, but ultimately that's my opinion. So I wouldn't waste your breath anymore.
I was done. I'd made my point. You asked.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Not a bad song. Had a lot of good ideas. I just think, like I said, just to repeat myself, I think it just could have been mixed a little bit better.
I'm a huge fan of husband-wife duos. Broke Note Undertone. These guys. I'm trying to get my wife to do songs with me for the last 20 years. I might bag it in this next decade at some point. That's what it really is. It's professional jealousy. And I like the concept of doing whatever the fuck you want.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm huge on it. So, continue to do whatever the fuck you want. But, heed Brandon's words. Because he is a different point of view that you or I aren't considering.
Right. So, ladies and gentlemen, that has been episode 144 of Talking Shop with the Boss in the Box. That was our working bands album reviews and reactions episode, whatever you want to call it. But I had a lot of fun. Did you have some fun? I
was a blast, dude. Playing new music. It's nice to see a bunch. Right when we decide we're gonna do a music episode, 4 of our friends drop albums.
Right at the same goddamn
and singles and shit. Yeah, so it's like, okay, like that was timely. So it worked out beautifully for us, and it can work out all the time. You got a song you want featured? Hit us up. We might find a way to surprise you and throw it in there somewhere. Because that's what we do. It's a variety show, man. We do wrestling, music, comic books, whatever we're talking about, and then some.
And then some. So next week's episode, we're going to see if we can pull this off, okay? So what we have tentatively titled for next week's episode is we're going to do something called film titles. Lunchbox and I are each going to find each other film titles for movies we probably haven't seen and give synopsises on the movie just based on what we think the title is. Does that make sense?
I understand you. You explained it to me via text, and it didn't come across as well. So, all right. I'm with it. So we got to find obscure, stupid-ass movies.
Yeah, movies we haven't seen that we have to try to explain what we think the movie is about. And then we're also going to do film reviews. Lunchbox and I are going to take a film and review it for you. Yes, it's on the title. You should look at the schedule every once in a while.
You should remind me a little earlier.
Doesn't matter what movie you watch, but we're going to do a review on a movie. So tune in next week for episode 145 of the Talking Shop with the Boss in the Box, where we do film stuff. And hell, we might even look into our fellow film guru, Mr. Matthias himself, and see what he has to say about that.
Hey, Loveface XYZ make man the best girls in the world.
I don't know, man. I've been to the Hustler Club in Vegas, and they got some pretty good girls, man.
I got the best woman in the world across the garage from me.
Hello, Jen. Happy evening. And, yeah, tune in next week at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You won't be disappointed. Good night, everybody.
Or you might be.
We'll see. Either way, it doesn't matter. We're here to haunt your dreams and love your nightmares. Good night, everybody.